Oh, it's that time of the show. We call it Around the Movie Block with The Rock. Rocco has his movie review.
Yes.
And anxious to hear what he has to say on this week's movie. Take it away, Rocco.
Thank you very much, Howie. This movie is none other than the movie that is still the biggest movie out right now, which is the new live-action remake of The Lion King. It is directed by Jon Favreau and stars Donald Glover, Seth Rogen, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Beyonce Knowles Carter. And 25 years ago was the original Lion King, one of the biggest animated movies of all time, particularly from Disney. And the plot, if everybody knows, the plot has to deal with Simba, the Prince of the Throne, who, after he loses his father, Mufasa, goes into exile and struggles with whether or not to deal with, what he feels is his, burden of responsibility in that whole horrible tragedy. My feeling on The Lion King is a little complicated because it looks fantastic. The CGI in these new movies are extremely impressive. Like, the animals look so real. They did this already with one of the earlier remakes they've done, which is Jungle Book. I like the Jungle Book though, because if you had ever seen the cell animated Jungle Book, it's not one of their better movies. So the live action CGI Jungle Book got to really improve over the original immensely, and it was overall a much better movie. The problem with The Lion King in doing this is that The Lion King is already a really good movie, and it creates this sort of situation where you're really fixing something that's not really broken. Particularly problematic with The Lion King is the characters. It's a very simple story. It's based off of Hamlet, and so a lot of the development of the characters in The Lion King, you're not really going to get much improvement out of with this new movie. I mean, if you really felt like The Lion King, there was room for improvement with this new movie, it's really splitting hairs, because like most of what was already great about The Lion King in this new movie was already great about the original movie. And it's really speaking to some of the problems I have with the Disney remakes in general. There's been some Disney remakes that have been great, been necessary. Come to mind would be Cinderella, Pete's Dragon, Jungle Book. But some of these ones feel really just extraneous, and they don't really feel like they're that essential. Beauty and the Beast, I particularly felt this way, because I feel like the Beauty and the Beast, the original Beauty and the Beast was such a perfect movie already that there was really not much you could really do to improve it. Aladdin I was a little bit more excited about, because, Aladdin harkens back to great cinematic tradition because I always thought that Aladdin reminded me a lot of The Thief of Baghdad, which is one of the most classic movies of all time. It's one of the great special effects bonanzas of all time. So that gave me more enthusiasm for Aladdin. Although my personal feeling about this new Aladdin overall was, even though some of, there were welcome additions to Aladdin, like the action component, and Will Smith playing the genie definitely brought some new, fresh blood to, this new live-action Aladdin. At least that was something. With this, there was so little that was improved upon with this that was really necessary. I mean, yes, having Beyonce play Nala and really developing the character more, I think maybe was good for some female fans of the original, but to the point, there's a lot of characters in Lion King that are so basic enough already that you really can do much more with The Lion King with this new one. And that's really the central problem with this new Lion King, is a lot of what was great about it, like with Beauty and the Beast, was already in the original. So it really speaks to the real problematic aspects of these movies at their worst with these new live-action Disney remakes. Is there's a lot in this new Lion King that's, that was fixed, that was not necessarily broken to begin with. So I feel like if you're young and you've never seen The Lion King before, I think you will enjoy it. But even if you haven't, I feel like the big minus with the new Lion King is what worked in an animated movie, a cel animated movie, doesn't quite work well in translation with this new one, because the animals look so real in this new Lion King that it looks weird. Like, it looks like the live action, like having real animals do all the cartoony things that were done in the original Lion King, it just looks bizarre in this. So you're going to have like mixed results watching this, but is it entertaining? Absolutely. Definitely feel like in the entertainment aspect of it, you'll get your money's worth most of the time. But in terms of whether or not you'll really feel like it's worth it, I really don't feel that way, honestly. I really feel like a lot of this is just, stuff that was, fixed that was not necessarily meant to be broken to begin with. So, as difficult, it pains me to do this, because there's a lot about this new Lion King that I felt is really cool. Like I said, the visuals of it are fantastic. But in terms of whether you feel like you're going to get the bang for your buck overall, I really have to give this new Lion King 2 out of 5 stars. So thank you very much.
All right, just to continue a little bit, Rocco.
Sure.
One thing I always say to you, though, about some of these remakes, it's all about one thing: money.
Of course.
And this Lion King has been a huge hit at the box office.
Yes.
So I think, to me, when it comes down to it, Disney is going to make millions, maybe billions over this remake. It's been a huge box office hit, and unfortunately, when they make these remakes, to me, it's about one thing:
of course,
make as much money, and even as flawed as they could be, as long as they make millions of money, that's the bottom line.
No, yeah, absolutely, because Disney is doing gangbusters now in the theatrical movie business. They're pretty much like the only game in town. I mean, it helps that Disney has a lot of intellectual properties that are under their belt now. They have Star Wars, they have Marvel, of course, so they have a lot at their disposal. But even their traditional pipeline has worked very well, because people love the traditional Disney animated movies, and they've been beloved, for generations. They transcended their time. There's a new generation that wants to see them on the big screen, and if you could do it differently enough, that is really enough for a lot of people to go see it.
Awesome. Great job, Rocco.
Thank you.
The Lion King.
Indeed.
With Rocco.
Thank you.
All right, in conclusion, this truly is a show that is going to be one of our great shows that I'm sure is going to get a big response on social media. We had Craig Weintraub, the co-founder of Long Beach International Film Festival, which is coming to Long Beach on Wednesday, and is always a huge event, so we thank Craig for coming in. That was a riveting interview. We certainly appreciate Craig coming in, because I know he's very busy, and I know Rocco and I are excited to go to Taste on the Beach on Wednesday. And then this is an amazing story. We had Ryan Mead come in about the Capo Caco story that was in Newsday today, which has been a story which has gone viral all over the world, from the United States to Finland, and Ranger fans and hockey fans all over the world are loving it. And Ryan was certainly an animated and entertaining guy to have on the show, so we really enjoyed that, and Ryan was a blast. And really, folks, it really is amazing, because I basically came across this story this morning. I sent Ryan a Facebook request. He accepted. I talked to him, and here he came all the way from Bayshore to be our guest tonight. So it was really a lot of fun, and this is such a fun story. And now I'm going to even root extra hard for Capo Caco to have an amazing story. And I feel totally blessed to have an amazing staff that share my passion and my energy and love doing this. And I think when you watch their segments, it comes out. They're so passionate, and they care so much, and they're so prepared. And Brandon Ellis does a great job with his Stargazer. Was awesome, and Rocco on his movie review. And of course, the icon, Howie Wiesenberg. They all did a great job on their segments tonight. So totally blessed to have them share and come through, and they all hit home runs with their great stories. And at the beginning of the show, I just want to touch on it again. I talked about my passion, my crusade, and I really hope something evolves from this, because there are times where I'm walking on the street and I'll look into a car, and I'll see a mom or a dad smoking and a child sitting in the back seat, and it really sickens me. And when I found out, when I was talking to a friend, I found out that it's a criminal offense in England and Wales to have someone smoking in a car with a minor 18 or younger. It's a criminal offense. I said to myself, if it's a criminal offense in Wales and England, it should be a criminal offense in the United States. But let's start right here in New York. Because children, young children, are too young to say, Mommy or Daddy, start smoking in the car. And the horrible secondhand smoke they're breathing in is so detrimental to their health. And we as adults should get the ball rolling and make it a law, a criminal offense, that if you have a minor in the car, 18 or younger, you cannot smoke in that car. So that's my crusade. I feel passionately about it, and I hope by getting the ball rolling here, something can be done. Because sometimes that's how things start. I actually have a cousin in Massachusetts. While he was in high school, he got a bill passed in Massachusetts because he felt passionate about something. So bills can be put into law by just regular citizens like myself that feel passionate about things, that plant the seed, that get the ball rolling. So again, great show tonight. I feel privileged and honored to be the host of this show, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And with that, and folks, Rocco and I will be at the Plaza Wednesday for Taste on the Beach. So come by, say hello to us, and folks, if you want good food, you will be at the Plaza on Wednesday night in Long Beach, because Taste on the Beach, I think I'll starve myself that day and not just wait until Taste on the Beach. The food is that good. So anyway, with that, let me wrap with this. My name is Halftime. I want to thank you for your time. Please join us next Sunday for this is Halftime. But at this time, we are out of time. See you next Sunday.